everyone, once again, welcome to A.O.S Academy's YouTube channel. Here we'll talk about everything related to Canada immigration, TEF Canada preparation, IELTS preparation, job search, and things like that. We also talk about research, how you can actually get to work on your project, your thesis and dissertation, home and abroad. So if you like to always get notified about all our content, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit on the notification bar. And you can as well also like and share this video with your friends and with your family. We have started our Q&A sessions for quite a while now, and a lot of you have been enjoying the session. We have been seeing it in the comment section. I've been seeing it, the thumbs up in the like button. Thank you very much. We really hope you continue doing that. Thank you once again. If you are new to this, you would note that the questions have been related to our upcoming webinar, which we are going to be having on Saturday, the 17th of December 2022, which is centered on JAPA to Canada Fast in 2023. A lot of you who have been registering for that webinar have been asking questions. We have had about more than 50 questions being asked about it. Some have been commending us about the good work we have been doing. Thank you very much. But we know that the 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes webinar we are going to be having is not enough, doesn't suffice for answering these questions. So in other words, we set up this Q&A session in order to respond to your inquiries and to you seeking clarifications about Canada immigration. Now today we want to continue with what we have been doing, and today we are going to be focusing on questions 137 and 140. We actually combined these questions because they were talking about quite the same thing, and they were asked by Esther and Sadiq Shei. Now they asked the very wonderful question: financial implications should also be discussed. Thank you. I think that was like in form of a question. And Sadiq said, looking forward to the cost implications. Now the cost implications of what, you may ask, is the cost implication of the JAPA process, which is also known as the migration process, migration to Canada. Now, I have had a video where I explained in detail how much someone is going to spend, especially if you are a family, how much you will spend in order to relocate to Canada and how you can get such funds. I also talked about single. I think someone in the very first video we had asked the question that what is the total expense of relocating to Canada. So I talked about that of the single, that of the couple, that of the family of 1 to 3, the family of 3 to 7. So if you have not yet watched that video, I would link it to this. I will link it in the description section of this video. So go back and watch that video. But since now they are asking, Esther and Sadiq Shei are asking the financial implications, we want to explain in some detail the financial implication it would cost you to relocate to Canada based on the current expenses we know about. I'm not going to be talking about the total, so you can go to the first video to watch the total. But yeah, I'll be breaking those financial implications down. Now, the very first thing most people always know about or hear about when it comes to relocating to Canada, especially relocating through the express entry route, is their submission of their credentials, especially if they are high skilled and if they are knowledgeable, if they have attended maybe a university, a college, or a polytechnic. So firstly, you would have to, as a person, to send your credentials abroad. And if you are sending it through West, for instance, you would spend nothing less than 250 Canadian dollars in order to send that. And in the current exchange rate of the Nigerian economy, using black market, about 750 per dollar, that is about 150,000 naira that you spend to actually send your credentials abroad. And that is different from the money you spend on career service, different from the money you spend to actually get your transcripts done in your university. Is different from the money you would actually spend to all those alumni agents or workers that would assist you in that. So if we are to look at that, you will spend roughly like $50 to $100 in order to get that done, and that's about perhaps let me say about, depending on your own university, it will cost from 25,000 down to, you understand, down to 50,000 in order to get that done. Now, similarly, if you want to actually write some exams, maybe like IELTS exam or TEF Canada or TCF Canada exam, it can cost you around 83,000 naira, which is the current rate of IELTS in Nigeria, and about 210,000 naira, which is the current rate of TEF Canada examinations in Alliance Française de la Grosse and other places like that, Institut Français Abuja. So that is that. Now, if you are to also go through your medicals, you have to spend about $100 per person. Now, I'm talking about a single person. I'm not talking about couple. I'm not talking about the family. I'm talking about a single person. If you are to spend $100, and I think the last time we heard about how much they were doing that's about 46,000 naira, you understand, in Nigeria, for the medical exam for one person, especially someone that is 15 years and above. There are rates for people that are 15 years below, at least from 5 years to 15 years. There are rates from 5 years to about 3 years and 3 years to about a toddler. So we have the $100, we have the $200, we have the $300, the $400 rate that will be spent on medicals. And as I said, based on the age ranges, they actually also differ. Now, if you're also going through your biometrics, for biometrics, you will spend for a single person $85, and that $85 is roughly like 30,000 to 40,000 naira. For $170 for a family, that will be around about 80,000 naira to actually get that done for a family of 2 up to like 4 or 5 or thereabouts, even more than that. Now, for application processing fees, you would spend roughly $850, and that is just for the application processing. It's different from the right of permanent residency fee that you would pay. $850 is for the application processing for express entry. And if, for instance, you are paying for provincial nominations, I know of Ontario, you would pay about 1,500 Canadian dollars, and the last person that did that paid about 949,000 in terms of the exchange rate of 730. But if you are paying the application processing fee together with the right of permanent residency fee, that is $850 plus $515, that would be 1,365. So that could actually be on an excess of about 850,000 naira. Now, if you are paying for police clearance is now much expensive in Nigeria. It will cost you about $100 to actually do that. That's roughly like 50,000 to 70,000 naira to do that. And the settlement funds, especially for people that are just single, you understand, if you are single, mind you, I've been talking about single people for the most of the times that I've been quoting the numbers. I'm talking about single people. For single people, you'll spend about $13,213 that need to be in your account. It's not that you even spend that in the process, it just has to be in the account. So, and that is roughly in Nigerian currency as at the current exchange rate. If we're looking at the one online, that's 4.3 million, but the current exchange rate can go as much as 6 million. If you are a couple, you spend about 16,449, you understand, in your settlement funds. For a couple and a child, 20,000 Canadian dollars. For more, 24,000, and the rest of that. So, okay, maybe I should just put a summation to that so that it doesn't look as if I just give numbers without giving the total. So, for a single person, if you are to relocate to Canada, you would spend at least 2 million naira, at least 2 million to 2.5 million naira, apart from the money for the proof of funds. The proof of funds would take up to maybe like 6 million naira more. Do you understand? Or 5 million naira more, depending on the exchange rates. And that would be about roughly 7.5 million naira together that you would spend, and which is roughly $15,500. Now, if you are to go as a couple, you will spend about $21,000 in total, which is roughly about 9 million to 10 million naira. Do you understand? If you are to go as a family of 3, or maybe a family of 4 thereabouts, you are to spend about $25,000. $25,000 will be roughly 14 million naira. Do you understand? 12 to 14 million naira thereabout. And $30,000 would be for people that are going for maybe like a family of 4 or 5 or even more. You understand? You spend around 30,000 Canadian dollars. You understand? And that will be roughly about 15 to 16 million naira. So these are just estimates based on the current exchange rate that we have in Nigeria currently. It can be different anytime you get started, either below the cutoff that I talked about or above it. But any which way, just have a kind of rough estimate of how much your relocation to Canada is going to cost. So thank you very much once again for joining us for this wonderful session. If you have any questions, if you want to seek clarifications about what I said, then you can use the comment section below this video. And if you even want to ask your own questions, you can make use of the RSVP link below this video in the description section. Thank you very much once again, and I do hope